Hey, welcome to the Backwoods Gourmet. Today we're going to do shanks in the Dutch oven on the campfire. So y'all stay tuned. So to me, the shank of an animal is very underutilized. A lot of guys around here that deer hunt, they just chuck them to the dogs and let their dogs gnaw on that big old bones they got in there. Not a lot of meat, a lot of bone, but that bone brings in a lot of flavor. So today, I'm gonna use lamb shanks and show you how you can do just about any kind of shank from any kind of animal that you have. So here's what you're going to need to make today's dish. Today I got my big 12-inch deep Dutch oven, just for the amount of ingredients I got. We got some salt and pepper, got some garlic, got some rosemary, and we're doing lamb today. So cinnamon, that might not be something you might think about with lamb. I'm sure it would be good with other gamey type meats, especially venison, moose, things like that. I got some large carrots, a couple of them. I got a little bit of red wine. I just get these little boxes now because I don't really drink red wine. But convenient to carry around in your cooler. You don't have to worry about it breaking, whatever. I got some chicken broth and or beef broth, whichever you prefer. Some bay leaf. I got some paprika, some olive oil. 2 beautiful DALSTRONG knives. If you'd like to check out these DALSTRONG knives, I'm going to leave you a link right down in the description where you can save a little money if you use our link. And here today I have our prepared shanks. One of the things I've done is I've cleaned this bone off down here toward the ankle where it was cut, and I cut that big old tendon off that goes to, I guess, this muscle here. I cut that off, scraped all that off. It's going to give it a nice look, a bare bone look on the end there, plus that big old tendon. You can't eat that anyway. So the other thing I've done is I've deboned out the knuckle end of them. I've taken that off and I've cut that bone back to where it's a big bone like that. So see all that marrow inside of that? That's going to melt down into our dish. Now these came from Walmart lamb shakes, and they were already marinated in a vacuum pack and with rosemary and some other things, but we're going to go ahead and add a little bit more seasoning to them before we get ready to put them in the Dutch oven. And today's going to be a braise. I'm going to use the Campfire. I'll show you that next. So I've been burning this Campfire for a little while this morning, and I got a pretty good bed of coals going in there. And I had some bigger wood, and also I got some chunk wood. You see that going there now. Keeping that all to one side. And you see I've got my tripod set up on this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep our coals going over there and move our cooking fire over here. Got plenty of backup wood over here to keep this whole process going, because it can take a couple hours. And it will get this thing going. I'll show you exactly how to set up the cooking fire. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up our seasoning. Like I said, those things came a little bit pre-seasoned, so I'm not going to get crazy with it. I'm going to go in with a couple tablespoons of paprika, some pepper. And at this point, I don't want to put any salt into this because our broth is going to bring over quite a bit of salt. So, sorry, I reach here. And then the surprise ingredient, a little bit of cinnamon. All right, and I got a fresh cinnamon stick in my micro grater there. And I'm also going to throw the remainder of this into the pot for the braise. But that's all we need. We're going to shake that all together really good, just like that. And then we're going to get rid of our shanks over here, and we're going to go ahead and just sprinkle that over our shanks. And we want to get them kind of covered and all that. It's also going to bring a beautiful color. And we'll just dab them around, roll them around, get them all coated and that seasoning mix. Then we're going to throw these guys right back in the fridge, let them hang out and let them marry up with all that nice flavor. Alright, let's go ahead and bring in some of our coals over to this side, kind of centering on the center of the tripod here. We've got some grass growing up in there. That's a good little pile there. And this Dutch oven is going to hang pretty low, so let's get that next. Bringing over my Dutch oven hanging device here, get it hung in there. I got that all the way up. We may have to adjust the fire just a little bit. Yeah, it looks pretty good actually. I'll let that start warming up. In the meantime, I want to keep feeding new little chunks of wood over here to this side every once in a while, just to make sure that my coals stay stocked. So in this case, I want to get that pot up to searing heat to begin with. And the best way to do that is just stick one small piece up under there, let that thing catch, and we'll be up to heat really quick. It's been a couple minutes. We'll go ahead and put a pretty generous amount of olive oil on the bottom of there. I want that olive oil to go ahead and get hot, and it's also going to give me a gauge of how hot that pot is. And I see that oil's pretty smoking already, so it'll be time to go ahead and get ready to sear our shanks. Alright, let's go ahead and get these guys in there. You can hear that sizzle. Good. And what we're going to do is just sear them on all sides. Couple minutes, flip it, and getting a nice sear on it already. And you want to do this no matter what kind of meat you're using. First thing you'll notice is it draws up a lot, but you want to get that nice brownness on all sides of them before you start. And they're going to look a little browner than normal just because of that paprika and all the seasoning on them. Now if those are all seared off, let's pull them off very carefully. And we're going to pour off the extra oil. Alright, so now that that first step's done, we got them things seared off, let's go ahead and take our beautiful DALSTRONG knives and prep a few of these things that we're going to need to go in. Our braise, that's going to be some garlic, about 3 cloves, depends on how garlicky you like yours. 3 cloves of garlic. You see I'm using my Backwoods Gourmet cutting board today. Go ahead and slice this garlic. If you like to inquire about these cutting boards, they are expensive. This wood is very rare and valuable. This is made out of spalted oak. It's been kiln dried, air dried for years. All the voids have been epoxy filled, and of course it's been epoxy inlaid with the Backwoods Gourmet logo. They start at about $125 and they go up from there. Alright, so we've got those. We're going to rough cut some of these carrots. I've left them with the skin on them. I think it adds another dimension of flavor. Alright, let's get a couple of them in there. Say 2 large carrots. And the other thing I forgot to mention in the ingredients was half of a sweet onion. That's going to be cut into large wedges with the grain, okay? I'm going to talk to you guys if you follow me. And I wish you would hit that subscribe button right now for more content like this. But I've talked to you guys for years about if you want something to break down, cut an onion across its grain or across its leaves, because each one of these rings is an actual leaf of the onion. If you cut it across, it'll break down. If you cut it long ways, it'll stay more whole in your finished product, especially something like this braise. So onions, carrots, garlic, that's all we got. We're going to toss that over there into the bowl. And so we can get ready to take that out to the campfire. No further, the only thing else I'm going to put in here right now, the other things we're going to get ready to go here is we're going to go ahead and put our bay leaf in here. Now, this is some crushed bay leaf. If you don't got crushed ones, I like the crushed ones, seem to give off a little more flavor. Couple whole bay leaves. I'm not sure about all this cinnamon. I think I'm gonna, oh yeah, that sucker's hard to cut. About a quarter of a stick, like that. And we need to go make our broth. All right, so pot's back on the fire. Gonna go ahead and deglaze this with some red wine. Start with a little. My wooden tool. Gonna bring up all those beautiful bits from browning the Shanks. I've got it all up, so we'll dump it all. And all of our veg. Rest of the wine. I think that's about 2 cups. Okay. And we'll spread those veggies out. Let that come back up to a bubble. Alright, so coming back in with our Shanks. Again, here I think this is important. I got a fresh rosemary right there, and I'm gonna put that shank like right on top of it. Okay, because that's gonna cook in that liquid and just bring all that beautiful flavor. And I want that bone above the liquid. Okay. It's the other reason for getting rid of the knuckle, because we're going to roast this, and that's going to be the next step. I'm going to show you that setup. It's a little bit more moisture, so add a little bit of chicken stock. About half of what we made was 4 cups. When I'm about halfway covered, I'm coming in with our lid. All right. By the way, all the gear that we use here on our channel is available over on my Amazon store. I'm leaving you the link in the first comment, as well as the description box below. So at this point, I'm putting no further bottom heat on this Dutch oven. We'll scoot these logs that are still burning out. I'll come over and grab some of my really good ones. Not a lot. Okay. We get some of those good coals. They're up here. Just enough to give it a small covering. Let's get our other little tools to get a little bit better coverage on that. And I want to scoot them mostly to the outside, leaving a few in the middle. That's why I always tell you guys when we're cooking with charcoal not to pay too much attention to the coal counting method. Because when you do this on a campfire, for real, out in the woods or wherever you are, you can't really count these coals from the fire. And I don't want a lot of bottom heat, so I might just reach under there very gently, pull some of those coals out a little ways. We won't put any more under. Just show you what we'll do next. So So since we are roasting this, not like just boiling it, or it's kind of a braise and kind of a roast. First of all, I'm gonna tap that pot. That'll drop any ash down that might interfere with the process of grabbing the lid, and I'm gonna lift the lid slightly. I'm gonna crack it. All right, that's gonna let the moisture out and let it roast and concentrate all those nice juices down in the bottom. So to accompany our really rich lamb shakes, or any kind of shakes you make for that matter, we're gonna make a real simple mint yogurt sauce. When I say simple, the ingredients are yogurt, mint, salt and pepper. Okay, show you how we put that together real quick. First of all, plain Greek yogurt right in the bowl. We'll take our beautiful DALSTRONG knife, finely julienne the mint leaves. I'm not sure how minty I want my sauce, so I'm going to start off with about a tablespoon of mint leaves. So I'm going to mix that in there. Then we'll check it. Should have a little mint bite to it, because you're going to be, you know, it's going to be in that really rich, fatty. It doesn't look like quite enough, so I think about 1 mint stalk. About 2 tablespoons finely julienne mint. I have a tiny bit of that cinnamon left. I'll go ahead, kind of hit that with my knife really fine. Just a tiny bit, just a trace. That in there. A twist of salt. I love black pepper, so 3-4 grounds of black pepper. Let's mix that all up. We'll give it a try. Of course, the longer this sets, the more of that mint's going to permeate the yogurt. It's got some things hanging behind there. Let's get them in there. Give that a little try. That's pretty damn good right there. The mint is just not overpowering. It's just kind of a back taste. And actually that little tiny bit of cinnamon kind of gives it a spiciness. Alright, let's put that in the refrigerator. Let that hang out for a while till we're ready to eat. Alright, it's been about 2 hours. We've been burning the fire still over at the side there. You know, that gets a lot of radiant heat too to this side of the pot when you're using this method. And you know, we've had that side cracked this whole time like we talked about. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a check, but we're gonna pull it off before we do any of that, just to get it off of that swinging, you know, tripod. Oh my Lord, does that look good? That looks good. All right, so we're going to shake that lid off, bring it over here to the table and let her cool off for a minute. I thought maybe it was done, but it checked okay when I first stabbed it in there, but then we got it up on the table, opened it up, and wasn't quite done again. Wasn't quite to the point where I would call it done. So I loaded up another lid full of charcoal and put a little bit under the back side away from the fire, because this side's simmering good but that side wasn't getting that much heat. So I put a little bit of charcoal on that opposite side and I opened up that side of the lid. So we'll give it about another, we'll wait for this to burn down and it should be where we need it. Alright, let's serve this up for you guys. Go in here and get a couple of those braised carrots. And then one of our shanks. Everything's reduced down. Get this super flavorful sauce at the bottom of the Dutch oven. Alright, let's go ahead and clean that plate up a little bit. Let's come in, add a little bit of our now chilled and marinated mint yogurt sauce right there. And we got a little bit of fresh mint to go right there. Just like that. There you go. Braised shanks in the Dutch oven over a campfire. You want to buy that. I know you do. So I don't know why everybody wants me to try my own food. here on the channel, but a little bit of that mint yogurt sauce we made. Fork tender, super rich. The mint yogurt sauce is different, but somehow very, very refreshing. There's a little bit of that carrot that was in the bottom. That right there is fantastic. No matter what kind of meat you use to make this, it's going to turn out awesome. I guarantee it. So I hope you enjoyed this campfire recipe of Shanks. Again, like I said in the beginning of the video, use Shanks from any kind of animal you have on hand. Hey, this works great for any wild game animal. I would really love to try it with like bear or moose or elk or one of those out west animals that we don't really have access to here to at the Backwoods Gourmet Studio. But if you've ever tried this dish and you do live out west and you've done it with elk and bear and all that stuff, drop a comment in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. So thanks for watching Backwoods Gourmet. If you like what we're doing, please smash that like button right down there. To subscribe to our channel, you can do right over there. For another great Backwoods Gourmet videos, can be right over there. And for a whole playlist, and it's a big one, of Dutch oven and cast iron cooking, gonna be right up there. We'll see you next time.